It's actually funny. As I was about to make this video, actually the person, just a synchronicity. Somebody I stopped talking to had messaged me, and it's just, it's funny. This video is for anyone who thinks that separation in the physical existence means anything, right? Means, let me just break it down. We're about to have a little bit more of an esoteric video today, so get ready for that. I want to share my day so far. I've been having a good day, and I want to talk about this. I was in the store, looking at the items as we do, and I was buying tea. And this sweet old woman, like, it's crazy how awareness works. Like, I got this sense that someone was behind me, and I looked, and she was like squeezing through this little like pole part in the aisle, if you know what I'm talking about. If you ever seen them in Walmart, where they have like a pole that's kind of like, they fit two shelves, but the pole's like in an awkward middle section. It's like, if you have two parallel lines, the pole in the center would be like like 70% to the right, and then that little gap would be like 30% across. She tried to squeeze through that little 30%. I turned out, I was like, oh, you didn't have to do that. Like, thank you. I could have moved. And she was like, no, I didn't want to disturb your peace. You were deep in thought form. She said it cool, man. And I was like, wow, that was so profound for me, because, I don't know. I don't know. It just, that hit me a little bit different, because as I was going to the store, I kept saying to myself, like, the world is just me pushed out. The world is just me pushed out. Like, don't ever forget that. Now, I already know this based on the manifestations and the things that I've created to come into my life. But I told myself that somewhere along the line, I started to slip. I allowed myself to become more physical than ethereal again. And I started, and you can't ever really go backwards, but like basically I allowed myself to trip up too much. And, when that moment right there happened, she really did like kind of bring me back to like, yeah, I was deep in thought. Like, I wasn't even thinking about the tea that I was picking up. I was literally sitting here thinking about everything that I'm attracting to my life. And I just was so within myself. And that's why I say, like, it's right, like your peace is inner there. It's inner peace, man. It really is. Like, you guys have to understand that the body is technology, and your mind has a certain way it's wired. Like, if you can even read the book Atomic Habits, or all these books that tell you to reprogram your mind is technology. But when you become of your divine mind, it is a different type of love and happiness. Ooh, and my heart's going on fire. Let's go. My heart's on fire. So we're moving in the right direction. But I just wanted to share that really quickly. But to get into the video about separation, there is no separation in spirit, man. And I even told someone that was, close to me recently, like they are so in fear of, not having contact with me and all this. And I'm like, dude, it's all good. Like, we're not separated. Like, okay, I know it feels like in the physical. You ever have a thought about someone and then they end up texting you, or those little synchronicities like that. I mean, you could be thinking about someone. That's my alarm for uploading. But you can think about someone, or think about maybe seeing someone, and then all of a sudden, like, it could be a week later, it could be instantly, it could be a couple days, you'll run into that person, or that person will text you. I had a moment with a girl that I haven't thought of in a while, and I was like, I wonder how she was doing, out of nowhere. And I'm telling you, I knew this girl back in middle school, and I'm like 22 now when I think of her. And I thought back to when I think in middle school she had like a little crush on me or whatever. I couldn't remember though, but I could be just chatting, but it doesn't matter. Either way, that's what I thought at the time. I was like, I couldn't remember if that girl liked me, right? And when I thought about her, out of nowhere, I get followed by her on Instagram like a couple hours later, and I said, what the it absolutely blew my mind. Now, and I say all this because everyone is you pushed out. If you're conscious and aware of that, everyone is you pushed out. We are all the same in essence. And there is no separation in spirit. We took on physical forms where we think we're separated from each other, but we're not. There's no separation in spirit. And people, y'all really got to start getting that through your head, because when people think that someone dies or they lose someone, they didn't lose them. They actually just took off the physical body, which fades away. You've maybe run across roadkill. Maybe you've seen other types of deaths in your life. The physical body dies. But the thing that keeps it running, the you know, what people want to say, the human spirit and all that, or have like God, that's what it is. Your soul is what is going to continue after this, and after even what, like, we're here, like, this is it. Funny enough, like, you know, it's about creating heaven on earth so you can actually witness the, like, reality is so, like, I love that quantum physics is proving it now, because I feel less like a crazy person talking about it. But I didn't really care after a while when I was getting called crazy in the beginning, because it's like, it's the madman. Everyone that's called a madman is really like, they really got some shit that, you know, they really just got some shit. I want to just word it like that. They really got something for your ass. And not all the time. But I really think I always still believe this. I think people who are truly out of their mind are the ones who are really seeing what reality is. Because I'm telling y'all, it's so much more beautiful when you can embody this stuff and not just talk about it. So I'll never be able to truly wake somebody up. Maybe some of the things I could say really can have somebody's perspective shifted. But there's no separation in spirit. Like, we're not separated. And, you know, and that's why I always think about that when, you know, moving around or doing things. It's like some people have, like, they've wired their human body to have a need of just needing something to even happen or go on, or needing someone to be around them so much to the point where it's either like codependency, or they've just stumped themselves. Like they stunted their growth so much because they felt like their growth relied on external matters. And that's why I say, when you really embody the concept of we're not separated in spirit, and we're not, because we're all from the same source, you begin to really realize, like, you really begin to take your power back, and you start to wake up to your true self. Because if your self is built on external matters, that's going to be a fragile being that ends up breaking. And the more, you know, and I really just know this from experience, because some of the people who have called called themselves the toughest and this and that really just need a hug. You guys ever know that? Like, it's really that real. It's so in reverse. You know, it's so in reverse. But it's all necessary, because I do feel like the human experience, and this is just from I'm speaking from my own personal perspective, is that it was something meant to be experienced. And that is it. The best way I can, like, attach myself to it and call it is a video game, and it's just an experience. Like, through all of the events that have taken place in my life, it's an experience. Like, I've had people do things which others would deem scary. Like I told y'all, when I told the story of the pepper spray, the reason I want to tell this so frequently is because I didn't run to tell on this person. I didn't run to do anything. I felt complete bliss in the moment. I didn't even feel like anything had happened to me. And that's the place you want to be at, because the moment I react to someone doing something outside of myself, I give them my power. And I'm sorry, I'm good. Like, no one is getting a piece of this. Like, my energy is too vibrant. You want to run from me? You want to call me crazy? Good. Give me it. Like, you want to say I'm insane? Give me it, because it hypes me up, and people don't realize, like, that is the Christ energy. Because in the beginning, I actually heard somebody I like watching the other day say this. They thought they were doing something bad at first. That's what I thought too, because when I first awakened, like I said, people were saying I was blessed by the devil and all this. I talked to popes and everything to figure out what was going on. I talked to therapists, even had therapists tell me I was an indigo child. So, you know, I stay watching some of the content from other, like, you know, people I trust and know that they're doing it from their heart space, and they're not just doing commercial spirituality to where they're just trying to get a buck off of people. Because I have the same people that do that sometimes literally DM me and message me for help. Like, woof, man, I don't mean it in a way where it's like, like I'm the one helping behind the scenes. No, it's just that in seriousness, like, a lot of people jump into this too fast thinking it's going to be rainbows. Like say I don't think all the commercial spiritual people are doing it just for $1. But some of the people that hop in it do have a genuine want and desire to do it. But when they hop in, they don't even know what they're getting into. Like, you know, I've awakened, created things in my life, and the same people that were like, I don't know, like yoga masters and all of this were the same ones running from me too. So it's just, you know, I come to literally spit the real to y'all as much as I can before, you know, my time is up or whatever. Like, you know, whatever ends up, like, I just stopped speaking. Like I said, when I did my Large Angels series, Large OA, I said I'm not going to talk about it on this channel anymore, and I'm just going to enjoy my time and have a little bit of fun and drop gems here and there. But, you know, I'm always called to talk about this stuff because that's really all there is to talk about. Like, nothing else is real. I don't want to say that because sometimes that breaks down people's perception, so I don't like just jumping straight to the world's not real, but it is a real life video game. And we're not separated. Like, we are all together in spirit. It's like, that's why I actually had a friend today who told me, you know, like, this is one of my close circle brothers in the circle who I have this knowing that it's just so much deeper because of the things we've been through. Not Ron, but him too, where he said, hey, sorry, I've been MIA for a while. Like, and I was like, dude, you, like, I really feel this genuine. I said, yo, you need to know I mean this, man. I do not mind. We're together in spirit, bro. If we stop, bro, we found each other again after like 6 to 5 years. We found each other. We will link up when we're meant to link up. We will do things when we're meant to do things. Everything has a timing. Like, it is all like, don't feel like you're good. We're good. And I love saying that because it's just genuine. And I remember having this conversation with someone a long time ago where, like, if you do things for others, like, for the sake of, it's just like, man, I just don't speak from the human consciousness. Like, I can't see it. Like, if somebody on the street needs $1 and I give them $1, it's not to feel better about myself. It's like, it's literally like the world is you pushed out. So there's no, like, only the human consciousness sees some shit as you're doing it to feel good. No, like, that's why it's about embodying the things you speak about. Because when you speak from the level of consciousness, and I understand everyone has their own perspective, but because perception is what brings you home. But it's like, I can't take on a mindset at where I'm at to think that doing things for someone and not expecting anything back is actually selfishness, or it makes you feel good in your heart. No, you just do it for the sake of doing. There's no intent behind it. That is source. Like, that's source energy. People miss that. Like, that's what gets you kissed by what you think is a sky daddy. There is, like, you know, not to break down anyone's beliefs, but that's how you honor a god in the sky, unless you're just fucking with some other entities, because that's the stuff that I said I can't talk about on YouTube, where I don't want to get into it. Like, when it comes to gang stalking and seeing dark entities on people, oh, trust and believe, there's a whole realm of shit that people don't even know. Like, I've seen people, like, I've seen someone watching TV, and I've literally seen, like, something being sucked out of them, like some entity coming from the television sucking y'all don't I literally cannot talk about this stuff, I think, on the channel. I think people would think I'm fucking bonkers, but if I'm called to talk about it, I will. But, like, things are so twisted in this reality that they don't even, like, imagine doing kind acts for someone, right? Just for the sake of doing it. You don't want any gain. You don't want anything in return. You don't even feel obligated to it. It's just you're naturally being. It's embodiment. Imagine someone trying to take your action and twist it in a way in this dimension that allows them to do that, to twist it in a way where you're doing it for the sake of being selfish. Like, that just shows you how beautiful and how much of a monstrosity this reality has become. You can, the fact that you can call someone dumb automatically means someone is smarter than them. Think about that. Like, I don't want to get that deep. I don't want to get that deep right now, but just think about that. You can twist everything around, and that's why the whole journey is about meditating and going within, because it's like you just gotta let this stuff fall off of your skin, because who care? Like at the end of the day, you can't care. Like it's really the subtle art of not giving a fuck. That's a book. That's a good book. You know, like it really is the subtle art of not giving a fuck, because it's like, bro, everyone is in their own world, bro. It's insane, and like it really is like a whole gigantic school to see who's gonna return home. I started rambling off topic a little bit because that's how it happens, but at the end of the day, we're not separated. Like even when you leave people or cut them off, there's still residue or energy residue, because energy speaks first before, like energy speaks before someone gets their words out. Like, you know this, like when you walk up to someone and say it is someone, like, I don't know if any of you have been in any school fights or even like maybe parents, let's just say, you ever get that feeling where you know, like you break something or something breaks and you already know how your parent's going to react, like your dad or something about to come beat your ass, and you just lock up because you know something is about to happen. Like, you know, cause and effect. That's what it is. You already know, oh shit, we're done for. Before the person even arrives, you know that this little, and it might have not even been anything serious, and they're about to, you just know 10 minutes from now this person's about to snap. Well, you're time traveling. That shows you right there that you're time traveling. You just know the emotional reaction that's going to be set off from this person. So now this person's emotions then dictate their reactions. That's why it's about controlling your emotions, because it's just like at the end of the day, everyone is in their own thing, man. Like, same thing, a physical fact can produce an emotional reaction, and an emotional reaction can produce a physical fact, or an emotional causal, I would say, or like an emotional fact can create a physical action. And that's why it's just like your imagination is God. Like, you need to live in your head and realize that everyone is you pushed out. So there's no you're gonna probably feel selfish doing certain things or needing to cut people off. But the thing is if everyone is you pushed out and you would do it for you, like you would stop talking to someone for you to better you, then that's love. That can't be separate from love. Like that just can't be separate from love. There's just no separation in spirit. You're not going to get away from it. We don't get away from everything, because we're just, you don't come into a human physical body and think you've gotten away from spirit. No, the human consciousness is just dense, but you don't get away from spirit. We're all connected in spirit. That's why half the time, like I tell you on the channel, even when I speak about certain comments that I get, I just understand. I told one guy, literally, he got so mad about me watching one account Dankula's videos that he commented and said, "You're a fucking thief," and all this, right? And I talked about it in the YouTube iceberg. But what was funny is when I commented back to him, I say, "I understand that you may have some stuff going on in your life, and bro, listen, honestly, just do better for yourself. It's all good. I'm just a random dude on the internet. I never said I was better than the creator." My man said, "You think you have the nerve to tell me that?" I'm like, damn, bro, like I see the dimension this person is speaking from. Like, they're so hurt, and it's like, I just could, if I'm crazy for the way I think, well, it's allowing me to never feel like that, because I'm not attached to this world, bro. This none of this is real. It's a video game. You've got people doing, like, think about that. I don't like saying that, but think about that. I want to come down a level a little bit and give you the human perspective. I'm watching a creator that the creator's fans wanted me to watch the video of this guy and see my response to it and what I have to say. And imagine that those fans wanted me, anything on my channel I've watched due to, providing value for people. That's what it is. Entertainment. Imagine getting so mad at a person that did that when there's like the world we're in, where you could get killed before you go home. In game, it's a video game. I forgot YouTube's a little bit crazy with that. But you could be driving home and a drunk driver could just, and you're ready to go home and eat dinner, and you could be just taking out the physical. Just like that. Just like that. Because that's the most dangerous thing we do every day, I think I could think of, is drive in a car. So think about that. One drunk driver, one careless driver on their phone, you're out the physical. There's so much other darkness to be worried about in this life that people worry themselves. I always think that when I get comments like that, I'm doing something they want to be doing. But it's like, yo, just do it then. Just go ahead. But you know, like, yeah, man, it's a weird, we're in a twisted reality, bro. It's such a weird reality, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you just being you bothers people. Like that's just that's what you realize in awakening. I'm telling you. But there's no separation in spirit, so I couldn't even feel bad for. Like, I didn't feel. I felt compassion for the guy. Like, I genuinely did, because I'm like, dude, wherever his level is at, I feel like I've been where you've been. Even when I tried to give him a good comment, dude got even more furious. There's nothing you could do, man. The energy speaks before they write their comment, their words. It is what it is, man. I have compassion for that stuff. It's just what it is. There's no separation in spirit, man. And these videos get longer and longer, dude. I love it, dude. I just yapping. I can get them down to 10 minutes so they're not too long, but damn, love that shit. All right, I'm out. Much love, Moonlight.